Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on this look that you see right here. It's like a galaxy sort of sunset smoky eye. I'm really not sure what to call it, but it's very glam. So if you are looking to learn how to do this, just keep on watching. Alright guys, so I already did my eyebrows off of camera as well as primed and set my eyelids, so now we're just going to jump right in. I'm first taking the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palette. So first I'm going to go in with this very used shade called Silk Cream in the Jaclyn Hill palette. I'm just going to put that in my crease. And I'm taking this on a Morphe E30 brush. It's just a big fluffy blending brush. Alright, so next I'm going to be taking this shade called Hunts and putting it in the crease just below that transition shade and blending it out. I'm going to be taking that on the Morphe M441. And I go in with a very light hand because I don't want them to be too intense because they are very pigmented. I just want it to be a light dusting of color so I can blend it out a lot easier. And I like to use circular blending motions just because it makes it blend a lot easier. And I think it looks a lot better. Alright, so now I'm going to take another clean blending brush. This is the Morphe M330, and I'm just going to blend that out even more. Alright, so now I'm just going to be taking this shade called Roxanne. Yeah, I'm going to take that on the Morphe 433 brush. You just want to put this shade right underneath where we put the shade Hunts in the crease, and it'll give it just a little bit more definition. And I still am going in with a very light hand. Alright, I'm going to go back in with that blending brush, the M330, and just blend those two together. And I'm going to go back in with that same Morphe brush I was using, the M433. Get this shade called Jax. So I'm just taking this shade and I'm going to place it beneath the color we just did and also bring it down to create a sort of a smoky eye. I like to stamp first on this part of the eye because it puts the most pigment down there and then you can blend it out. Right, so I'm going to go back in with the Morphe 441 brush, and then I'm going to go back in with a little bit of Hunts, that reddish orange color, and I'm just going to add a little bit more to blend it all together. Next I'm going to go in with this little pencil brush. It's the Morphe E36 brush. I'm just going to pick up some more of Jax. Tap it off, and I really just want to define the crease a little bit more. So I'm sort of looking up because I have slightly hooded eyelids. So I'm just looking up a little bit and seeing where my eye crease is at and adding more in there to give it a little bit more depth. And then going in with that same brush and blending it out. Into the palette, I'm going to take this purpley shade. It kind of looks black on camera, but in person it's more of a purpley shade. It is called Soda Pop, and I'm just going to put that in the outer corner just to make it a little bit more purple instead of coppery. I just want it to be more of a sunset eye type of deal. So I'm going to take the Morphe 433. It's just going to deepen it up a little bit. Make it a little bit more smoky. Alright, so now I'm going to take my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer as well as my NYX Flat Top Brush, and I'm going to cut the lid. So now I'm just taking some loose setting powder to set it all in place. Alright, so going back into this palette, I'm going to take this shade right here called Royalty, and I'm going to use that and put it on the lid where we just cut the crease at. Alright, and next I'm just going in with this shade right here. Alright, so now I'm just taking a makeup wipe. I'm just going to take my nail and sharpen up this line. So now I'm going to apply some lashes, but before I do that, I'm going to prime my lashes first by using the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise. Just going to apply that to my lashes and then wait for my lash glue to dry, and then I will apply them. Alright, so now that this eye is finished, I'm going to go off camera and do the other eye, and then I will be right back. I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Baby Skin Primer. Okay, so now I'm just going to take a little bit of this Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 Foundation and Concealer. This is in the shade 01 Creamy Vanilla, and I believe they do have more shades. This is just the only one that I have. So I'm just going to put a couple drops of that on this mixing palette I have right here. And I'm also going to add a few drops of this L'Oreal Pro Glow. This is in the shade 202 Creamy Natural. It's just going to lighten up the foundation just a little bit because this one's a little dark for me. Going to dot this all over my face. And I am combination oily, so I am oily in my T-zone, but everywhere else I'm dry. Sometimes I'm dry on my nose too, which it's weird because sometimes I'm dry, sometimes I'm oily there, so I'm just gonna have to mix it up on foundations. My skin just does a lot of weird things anymore. Especially when it's winter time, it just really likes to be super dry. So I'm just going to start blending that out with my Real Technique sponge. I like mixing these foundations because it does give me like a combination of matte and glowy. So I'm not completely matte and dried down, but I'm not looking like an oil slick either. And I'm just going to take my Tarte Shade Tape again in Fair Neutral and just highlight under my eyes, on my cupid's bow, on my chin, and above or on my forehead. Alright, so next I'm going to be using the RCMA No Color Translucent Powder to set my under eyes. And I actually put mine into this little face powder jar I got off of Amazon. It has a sifter in it and a lid, so it makes it a lot easier than this like shaker bottle. I don't know, this is the messiest thing ever, so it makes it a lot easier to use. Alright, so I'm just taking my damp sponge and I'm going to pick up some of that RCMA powder and then I'm going to bake. So I like to bring it up to where we cut the line at, just to make it sharper and set where we had foundation at right there. Alright, so while that is baking, I'm just going to take my Coty Airspun powder. I get the translucent extra coverage. So I ordered these powder puffs off of Amazon too. They're just like cheap little powder puffs, but they work great. Alright, so now that that's been baking for a little while, I'm going to take my Morphe E48 brush. I'm just going to wipe away the bake with that. So now I'm going to be going in with the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. I'll be going in with this shade right here called Subconscious. I'm going to be using that to contour. So I'm taking that on my Real Techniques brush. I'm not really sure what this one is called. It's just like a buffer brush. But I'm going to pick up a little bit of that, tap it off. So after I finish my contour, I like to take another brush to kind of blend it out a little bit before I go in with bronzer. So I'm going to go in with my MUA stippling brush. So next I'm going to go in with the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. So I'm going to be taking that on my Morphe E5 brush. This is like a large fan brush. Some people use this brush to highlight with, but I think it's a little chunky to be trying to highlight with. I don't know. Not for me. Alright, so next I'm going to go in with this Wet n Wild Color Icon blush. This is in the shade Pearlescent Pink. Alright, so now for highlight, I'm going to go in with Champagne Pop by Jaclyn Hill and Becca Cosmetics. This is my favorite highlighter. It's like it's perfect for any skin tone, honestly. I love it so much. It's good for when I'm tan, it's good for when I'm pale, and it'll tie in really nicely from the goldish color accents that are in it. It'll tie in nicely with the eyes. Alright, so now we're going to work on the lower lash line. I'm just going to go back in with the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm going to pick up that same shade we started with, which was Hunts right here. Alright, so now we're going to go into this shade right here that we did before and just put it on the lower lash line as well. So now we're going to go back in with that same purple shade and put that on the outer portion of the lower lash line just to smoke it out like we did on the top. It's just literally going to match the bottom. Alright, so now I'm just going to add some mascara to my lower lashes and I'll be right back. Alright, so now for my inner corner highlight, I'm going to take this first shade right here. Alright, so now for lips, I'm going to be using this matte lipstick from ColourPop in the shade Chi. Alright guys, so this is the completed look. Please don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next video.